All right, traders. So we are still in XRP on the 15-minute chart. We're in the trend surfing process and we're up to step number 3. If you haven't seen my other videos, you can go back and catch those, but we'll do a quick recap right now. So step number 1 was surf where the waves are. So what is the wave? The wave is the 20-period moving average as it's breaking out of the deep water. The deep water is the 200-period moving average. So we've got the deep water and the 20-period moving average. They're coming together. And when the market breaks out, this 20-period moving average is going to rise like a wave. And the surfer is the market going to surf this wave into the beach. This is what I call the coastline analogy of the trend surfing process. Okay, so surf where the waves are. In this case, the 20-period moving average and the 200-period moving average are coming together parallel. And this is what I call the lineup. In surfing terminology, this is the lineup. The surfers have been doing this for years. They come out to the lineup and they know that the peak wave energy will come to this location, and then they can catch a wave just in that location. They don't need to be anywhere else in the ocean. They're exactly where they need to be. They've been doing this for years, and they're going to catch a powerful wave. So that's what we've done here. We are in the right location where the 20-period and the 200-period come together parallel. That's where we want to sit, and we are looking for a powerful wave. This large candle is larger than 20, 30 candles to the left of it, and this is our powerful wave. When we see that, we immediately get into the market. Now, that gets us in early. Many of you are getting to these markets late, and you're getting stopped out. So you're having a lot of trouble with managing these trends. All right, so we are already in the market in step 2. We caught a powerful wave. Step 3, surf the trend. How do we surf the trend? Well, there's really 2 faces of this wave that we're going to surf. So the surfer is surfing down this wave in 2 different faces. Let's just take a look at this analogy and see what I'm talking about. This is coming down the face of the wave. This is the energy, the strong wave energy. We're going to come down the face of the wave, and we're going to end up on the flat. That is this right here. We're going to come down the face of the wave, and then we're going to end up on the flat. So how do we surf this? How do we manage this? Well, one way to do that is to bring in the 8-period moving average, what I call surf the 8. This is the 8-period moving average. And you can see the market tends to want to stay off the 8-period moving average. So we can trail this 8-period moving average. And there's a couple of things we do when we trail the 8-period moving average. We move our stop to large bars. And if we don't have a large bar, for example, this little red bar is not a large bar, then we can look for where the 8-period moving average crosses, or where the vertical line through that candle crosses the 8-period moving average. And we moved our stop up here to this large bar, but where this 8-period moving average meets this bar right here, if this is lower, as we're going up the wave, if this is lower, we don't move our stop. We leave it right where it's at. And then we trail every bar. We see we don't move our stop yet. And now we can move our stop up. In this case, this is a large bar. We could move our stop up to this bar. We're going to move our stop here. We can see we're lower here, so we're going to leave it where it's at. Going to keep moving our stop. This is a large bar. We can move our stop up to this large bar. Right to there. We move our stop again. This is lower. Move our stop here. You can see just barely, you can see that. This is higher now. This is higher. So we're going to move our stop to here. We're going to keep going. We're surfing the 8. We're moving our stop up. And we're basically getting stopped out right here. Now, let me just show you a couple of little details that may help you in your understanding of a trend. So we just got stopped out. We just we surfed the 8 and we went from our entry here and we got stopped out at this pullback. Again, let's look at the pullback. This is the pullback. The pullback is on the flat. We're pulling back and we're going to go back to the 20-period moving average to get some more energy on that wave. And we're going to go down for another face of the wave. And we generally have 2 faces we want to surf. We want to surf down a face, pull back, go down a face. You're going to see this over and over and over again in your trading. Now, I teach a course. If you hit up this QR code, I teach a course on how to do this. I go through every candle, every detail, how to surf these trends. and how to make money and how to get out of the market and not stay in the market. I'll go through and methodically cure your main problems. Some of your main problems are you're getting in late on trades. You're staying in late when the market has already finished and hit the beach and it's already pulling back down what I call the riptide. You're staying in these trades too late. There's many issues you're having with your trading that I cure. Go to this QR code, hit me up. I have group coaching. I also have private coaching, and I'm happy to take you on a private basis as well. All right, so let's get back into what we're doing. So we talked about surfing the 8. We got done with this first face of the wave, and now it's pulling back. So I said I was going to show you how to kind of deal with some of these trends. So we're out of this trade now. So we're going to still surf this next face of the wave, but we're out of this particular trade. So let's look at how many candles were in this big push up. We had, let's measure this. I think we've got about 7 bars, right? So these markets tend to want to repeat at least that amount of bars. So you can see that if you were to try to get into this market on the second or third candle, you may have a little trouble. In other words, if you tried to re-enter. So let me just give you a couple of tips. Number one, the market needs a little time to pull back. So as you go down the face of the wave, give it some time to pull back, and now you're ready to get back in the market. So let's look at a couple of things. Number one, the market has pulled away from the 20. Let's get rid of the 8 so we don't get confused here. The market has pulled away from the 20. And we're going to get out of the market as the market goes vertical like this and pulls away from the 20. Let me get rid of this one. As the market goes vertical and pulls away from the 20, we know we're going to get out. As the market pulls back, we have an opportunity to get back in. Where are we going to get back in? Well, here's a good spot. The market has had enough time to sort of get itself together. And this is what we call a color change. When you have a red bar that is taken out, so this is the last red bar, it is taken out essentially by these 2 bars. This red bar has been taken out in the right location. What is the right location? We talked about surf where the waves are. Surf where the waves are and catch a powerful wave. All right, so this is where the waves are. As the market has come back to the 20, we talked about the market coming back to the 20 here. We're coming back to the 20, and we're going to now catch another face of this wave. This is called trend surfing. So we're coming back to the 20. We've got a color change. We don't have to ask permission. We're just going to get in on this color change right there. Let me make that green so you can see where our entry is. Our entry is here. We'll put our stop right below all of that. Hey, maybe we get stopped out, but at least we got in. We got in with a very small risk. And look at our potential reward. So, how do we trade this second face? Many times these second faces tend to go vertical. I mean, we're talking vertical, right? So how do we trade the second face? Well, we could do a bar by bar surf the 8 method, but I tend to do them with a bar by bar method on the second face. So let's go bar by bar. Obviously, if you wanted to surf the 8, you could have gotten all the way up to here. But let's go bar by bar because that's how I teach it in my course. We're going to go bar by bar. We're moving our stop. We're now risk-free. You see, we're out of our risk. We've already eclipsed our entry. We're going bar by bar by bar by bar, and we got out. So we're out. So our first face gave us this much. Our second face gave us this much. So why don't we get concerned about all of this? Because this is what I call the beach. We are going to go now into step 4. Step 4 will be kick out of the trade. So I'm just going to go right into step 4. Step 4 is kick out of the trade. Where do we kick out of the trade? Well, wherever the market kicks us out, that's it. We're going to kick out of the trade. This is kicking out of the trade or kicking out of the wave. We're going to get off the wave and we're going to have a good time. We're going to paddle back and we're going to do it again. We're going to do this over and over and over again. Many of you are not trading enough. You can do this over. There's thousands and thousands of these, or what I call the coastline analogy. Thousands and thousands of these the trend separates, the 20 period and the 200 period moving average separate. This is the coastline. The surfer is surfing this wave up to the beach. Now, you do not need to put your toes in the sand like a little kid, surf your surfboard all the way up to the sand and step off on the sand. That's what this is. We don't need the sand. We just need to get a good solid wave. We kick out of the wave, we paddle back, we do it again. All right, so that's the beach. We're not worried about catching every little tick here. We're going to get out and we're going to go paddle back and we're going to have another one. So that's getting out at the beach. So when this market goes sideways, we're out at the beach and we're done. All right. So I told you I was going to go over the riptide. So I'll save that for the next video and we're going to go over the riptide. So that's surfing the trend, kicking out of the trade. And this is going to be the riptide. We're going to see how we could surf going back to the deep water. All right. So that's for the next trade. Hit up this QR code. I do private coaching and group coaching in this trader community that I have. And I look forward to seeing you in the community. And I'll catch you on the next video. Take care, everybody.